Hey everyone, this is Dr. Smith from Smith Chiropractic and Wellness. Today we're going to be talking about Graston, everybody's favorite therapy. It's also called skinning. No, I'm kidding. So this therapy I call it Graston because that's what I was taught in grad school. It goes by many names. IASTM, which stands for Instrument Assisted Soft Tissue Mobilization. That's kind of like the vanilla term for it, that it's not giving credit to any kind of organization. I think I posted something on YouTube 5 years ago and it has a bunch of hits. People were like, oh, that's Gua Sha. Yeah, it's Gua Sha. It's Oriental medicine. It's also called coining in the Philippines. So it doesn't matter what you call it. It's just using a tool when you're having a certain effect. So today we're going to be doing it on Dana. Now this isn't the only thing we do. This is just something that we incorporate into the therapy to really loosen up the muscles. I could do this anywhere. I've done it on plantar fasciitis, carpal tunnel. I was just doing it to myself on my wrist for my decor veins, which is probably an important video we should do because that one's a little scary when you get it. But the neck and low back is by far the hallmark of what comes into the office. So if Dana came in, she has a headache. Headaches are super easy to fix, trust me. Or if you have a stiff neck, or if you tell me that you carry all your stress in your shoulders. Guess what? You do. That's literally where the stress goes. You don't squeeze your butt when you're stressed. You go like this. It also has to do with fast twitch or slow twitch muscles. So in our upper body, we use these muscles more. Down here, more weight bearing. Also why there's light meat and dark meat, but that's, it sounds very Hannibal Lecter-ish when I talk about that. So, Graston, what I am doing is I'm just rubbing this along the skin, which you'll see. And you'll see the petechiae, which is a medical terminology, which is the little red dots that you're going to see. And this is an important video because by far and away, Dana gets frustrated when people call him the next day and they're like, what did he do to my neck? Even if I explain it, I still get calls the next day. Why, they go home and their wife sees it and they're like, what the hell is that rash? So just know that you're going to see it firsthand. And a lot of times I'm asking the patient, can I see yourself when I'm gonna take a picture of your neck? And even though I told them it's gonna be red, they're like, whoa, what the hell? So I zoom in, I show them why it's red in that area. A couple important things. If you need it, it's gonna get red. More so than just that blanching, you're gonna get the petechiae. The other thing is that it's also gonna be painful in that area. Why? Because that's where the trigger point is. So this highlights the trigger points. And why is that useful? Because then I can use these therapies on that area. But just keep in mind that as a doctor of chiropractic and being experienced, I know exactly where to do this and what to do. And it's really, really easy for me because I kind of know everybody's pretty much made the same. You're all gonna have the same trigger points. It just depends. So I'm gonna ask certain questions, when you come in. But this, I could take anybody, you couldn't tell me anything, and I could make your neck feel better, So this is what it looks like. So I use a mixture of some BioFreeze or some Sub-Zero, which is cheaper, and some ultrasound gel. So I'm gonna have you drop your head and look to your left. Whoop, a little bit right there, perfect. So Dana's got this before, so we might not have that crazy redness that pops up. So if you're too sensitive and I can't do this, I don't do this and I find other things to do. But just know that this therapy works. And if you've gone to someplace else and tried getting relief for your neck, maybe another chiropractic office, and they didn't do muscle things, just know that this exists and it helps. Because we're not just, wham bam, thank you ma'am, out the door. That's not what chiropractic should be or is anymore. A lot of insurances will pay for additional therapies, additional muscle work, and that's only come out in the last 20 years, something like that. So the initial, what I'm doing is, if I'm really treating her, is I'm just going over the big muscle groups, getting the general stuff, and then I'm gonna fine tune it. So a lot of times I'll do one side, because if you're like, this hurts, and I'm like, just hang in there, and this is why. All right, so before I fine tune this, Dana, go ahead and roll your neck around. Does the right side feel a lot looser than the left side now?
Definitely.
So that's what we want, and the torture is worthwhile because you know that it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And if she didn't have anything trigger point wise going on, she would not have gotten red. So that's Graston in a nutshell. I feel like I'm forgetting to talk about a couple things with this. Dana, anything that you get on your end? Anything that might be like a question you would ask about this?
A lot of people definitely ask like exactly what you're
it's
doing underneath the skin. Like we know the surface part, but what are you doing underneath?
So the red marks called petechiae are a sign of trigger points. We all know what trigger points are in knee, but they really don't know what it is on a biomechanical physiology level. So a trigger point is a formation of active inflammation, muscle spasms, maybe you tore an area because you work out a lot. Maybe you're not doing anything and it's just kind of building up. So again, it's common in certain areas because we use it a lot. Even if you're doing this, you're driving, you're typing a lot, you're using these muscles, you're standing still, but you're still using it because your head is being like this. So if you didn't use them at all, your head would be like this. But if your head is forward, you're statically holding your neck. So you're using these muscles. So just because you're sitting still doesn't mean that you're not using these muscles. You're using it for support. And they just build up scar tissue. And I like to use the term muscle scar tissue because it really does hit home with what it is. It's not scar tissue in your joint like you would from a major accident. This is just building up. And this might be completely new to you, never learned anything about the concept of Graston or muscle scar tissue. It exists, you can see it exists, and this is a great way to break it up. So again, if a patient comes in and they say they carry all their stress on their shoulders, literally you do that because when you wake up in the morning, it's all in there. You're not gonna stretch this out. That's in there, and you need to get it broken up. So when we break it up, you're able to wake up in the morning, it's stretched out, it's not inflamed. So we only have so much energy mentally, energy physically in a day. And if you're waking up and you're just trigger pointed everywhere, you're waking up with stress in your muscles, and that can lead to a lot of things, whether it's chronic fatigue and other things. Here, you might be substituting that with a Red Bull and coffee and other stuff. So I do the same thing, I'm just saying, So that's Graston in a nutshell. Like I said, I would have different tools. And I'll show you that other one really quickly. So pretend it was, let's just kind of go with the neck. So I would go down the spine and I would make sure I get everything in here. Underneath the scapula, I would have her move her arm. I would even work up into the scalene muscles up in here. Because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have the patient move their neck around and I'm like, do you feel it anywhere else before I go to the next therapy? Yes, where do you feel it? Oh, I feel it over here. Well, I didn't get her red over there. So I would Graston that area out. This is a really sensitive area on everyone. And again, when I say you can do it anywhere, you can do it anywhere. I can do this on your TMJ and help with TMJ. I can do this on your carpal tunnel, which I'll make another video about, and fix your carpal tunnel. I can tell you how bad your carpal tunnel is too. So, cool. Question, guys, post on the link below, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, take care.